Hello aspirants, welcome to our channel DISC Civil Services in Detail, guiding aspirants to become officers. Let's begin our session of The Hindu Current Affairs Analysis and Answer Writing Strategies of June 4, 2025. Here we begin our sessions with the most impactful quotes. This is the one. Effort is important, but knowing where to make an effort makes all the difference. True. See, you are putting your efforts, your hard work in one place, but your destination point is something else. What result it may give? So, right efforts at right place at right time matters to get the right result. That's it. So, let's see the first important topic of the day. Aravali Green Wall Project. As PM Modi is going to launch this project to restore degraded land in Aravali range, and this model has been inspired from this South Africa's African model. I have added this slide to give an idea because whenever you are reading something, instead of getting through the PDF and what it's called Ratta Maro kind of, if you are going through the images, visualization plays a key role in your preparation. So instead of butifying and all these things, if you are going through images, maps and all these things, it will be a little bit helpful for you to remember it forever. And when you are writing something or reading something or preparing something, please try to make a note of all important points, because handwriting improvement से ज़्यादा handwritten notes जो भी होता है, especially own handwritten notes, this will helpful for writing extraordinary mains answers. Guys, the one who habituated to do these kind of daily rituals like attending classes regularly, listening to classes regularly, and writing their own writing their own notes and improving them regularly, they will be excelling in and getting good ranks. Because बैठ के सुन के लैपटॉप क्लोज करके या मोबाइल फेंक के चले जाने से कुछ नहीं आता है, लेकिन बैठो, पढ़ो, लिखो, रिवीजन करो और रिपीटेड रिविजन्स करो, एंड जितना ज़्यादा हो सके उतना अपने नोट्स में डायग्राम्स एंड मैप्स ऐड करो, बिकॉज ऑलवेज मैप्स एंड डायग्राम्स प्लेस अ की रोल. See, getting that extra mark is very much important to be in the top list, because one mark decides, no? That's it. And yes, coming back to the article, I have added this African model map to give an idea. So it has been inspired from this model, and it is very much important because UPSC prelims may, I think UPSC prelims 2025 may, they have asked this question, and it is PYQ and it is from NCERT. सो जो भी न्यूज़ अभी अरावली के बारे में चल रहा है, तो यू मे गेट ए क्वेश्चन ऑन मेंस और एल्स एटलीस्ट इन प्रीलिम्स कमिंग ईयर. सो बी वेरी थोरो विद द माउंटेन रेंजेस. उसके साथ साथ ये भी थोड़ा देख लो, अफ्रीकन मॉडल है, अरावली माउंटेन है, तो शिवालिक रेंजेस क्या है ये एक बार देख लीजिए. दैट्स इट, नथिंग मोर देन दैट. लेकिन हाँ, अरावली ग्रीन वॉल प्रोजेक्ट का सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है, व्हाई इट हैज़ बीन इंट्रोड्यूस्ड एंड व्हाट इज अबाउट दिस गुजरात से लेके दिल्ली तक, हाउ इट इज गेटिंग दिस स्ट्रेच, ये स्ट्रेच जो भी है, हाउ दे आर फोकसिंग टू इम्प्रूव दिस particular land area and all these things. I'll explain the features and figures, everything in detail. See, this topic we have already discussed in our previous sessions when this article was released somewhere around December-January में. तब हमने आपको clearly बताया था कि 6 reforms and reasons are there, and these are the few outcomes out of this prestigious project, and one among them is carbon sink. See, मैं explain करते वक्त इसलिए लिखती हूँ because if I write, you will sit and write. If I keep on explaining, you will just listen like a story. So if I write, you will write, and it will improve your handwriting speed as well as presentation skills as well as answer writing skills. That is the reason. अगर लेकिन मुझे कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है कि बैठ के 1 घंटा प्रिपरेशन करूँ, 1 घंटा क्लास बताऊँ और फिर 1 घंटा आपको एक्सप्लेन करके ये सब कुछ करूँ. सी, आई एम द वन हु इज़ टीचिंग, putting so much of effort, लेकिन the one who you are the one who is going to write exam, right? So आपको कितना effort रखना है वो समझ के do things properly. So second point will be like, yes, focus is on Thar desert. मतलब Thar desert का जो भी है उसको थोड़ा चेक करके, मतलब इट्स उसका जो भी एक्सप्लॉयटेशन है उसको कंट्रोल करने के लिए. एंड अदर दैन दैट इट विल बी एक्टिंग एज ए natural barrier to these dust storms, because these kind of points you have to write when if there will be a question in UPSC mains about this infrastructural development or environmental perspective or something related to economic perspective के बारे में बताएंगे, तो you can quote this as an example, or else you can write these points directly in your geography, environment or economy or infrastructural development related points. And fourth most important is yes, ग्राउंड वाटर का जो भी रिचार्ज हो रहा है उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए. एंड फिफ्थ मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट इज टू कंट्रोल एंड रिड्यूस इम्पैक्ट ऑफ क्लाइमेट चेंज, जो भी नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट हो रहा है वो. एंड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंटली, सॉरी दीज आर 7 पॉइंट्स. एंड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंटली दिस स्लो माइनिंग एंड अर्बनाइजेशन जो भी है उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए. एंड यस, लाइवलीहुड, बिकॉज लाइवलीहुड के वजह से क्या होगा, यू विल बी गेटिंग एम्प्लॉयमेंट. वहाँ से क्या होगा, अपॉर्चुनिटीज आएंगे. वहाँ से क्या होगा, यू विल बी गेटिंग इकोनॉमिक एंड फाइनेंशियल sustainability and all. So these kind of improvements exclusively to build sustainability in the nature as well as in the society. मतलब सोसाइटी में भी आएगा where you are getting economic independence, and nature में भी आएगा where you are getting environmental conservation and all these things. So it's a kind of conservation technique development. This whole belt is taken for conservation. That's it, nothing more than that. उससे ज़्यादा ज़रूरत भी नहीं है. मतलब फॉरेस्ट आएंगे, प्लांटेशंस आएंगे, all these points are like important. just keywords एक बार देख लीजिए, उससे ज़्यादा important कुछ भी नहीं है. don't dwell deep into the topics. just be, मतलब क्या हो रहा है, कैसे हो रहा है, एक बार देख लीजिए, उससे ज़्यादा ज़रूरत नहीं है. तो यस, द स्टेट्स विच इन्वॉल्व आर राजस्थान, गुजरात, दिल्ली और पंजाब, जो भी है एक बार देख लीजिए. दैट्स इट. यस, फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम इन 100 years. सो मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी बताया है ये जो व्हाट इट्स कॉल्ड, आई एम सॉरी, इट्स नॉट न्यूयॉर्क, इट्स आई एम सॉरी, it's Yorkshire. I'll add it here. So Yorkshire Wildlife Trust जो है, they have taken care, मतलब it's a kind of conservation again. Conservation के साथ साथ they have reintroduced plantations and all, rearing many new orchids, and it's a kind of recovery program for the extinct, जो भी एक्सटिंक्ट स्पीशीज और वेराइटीज हैं उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए they have came up with few important observations, and they started germination process, producing seeds and all these things. Because of that this resulted. So after 100 years, lady slippers orchid, believed to be extinct in UK, has been spotted in the wild for the first time in 100 years. So this is a fact, because UPSC is very fond of asking questions in prelims. प्रीलिम्स में फैक्ट्स पूछता है, जैसे कि व्हाट आर द स्पीशीज इन न्यूज काइंड ऑफ. सो यू जस्ट गो थ्रू वंस, दैट्स इट, नथिंग मोर देन दैट. स्ट्रैटेजी फ्यूल्ड बाय विजन पावर्ड बाय एनर्जी. दिस आर्टिकल इज एक्सक्लूसिवली डिस्कसिंग अबाउट जो भी हमारा विकसित भारत है 2047 के लिए, उसका जो विजन है, उसको विजन को, उस विजन को वी आर ऑब्जर्विंग and we are coming up with lots of impactful initiatives. So developed nation के लिए हम एक विजन बना के we are following उसको initiatives को improvement करते हुए जा रहे हैं. तो उसके जरिए how energy is playing a key role, this is what it is talking about. इस विजन में, इस अचीवमेंट में how energy is playing a key role, this is what whole article is about. So he has clearly mentioned India अभी आया है 4th लार्जेस्ट आफ्टर, मैंने परसों भी एक आर्टिकल बताया था 4th लार्जेस्ट है या 3rd लार्जेस्ट है, ये सब कुछ डिस्कशन हो रहा है. लेकिन सून वी आर गोना बिकम ए डेवलप्ड नेशन, मतलब यूएस, चाइना, जापान को ये सबको क्रॉस करके वी आर गोना बिकम द नंबर 1. दिस इज द मतलब ये टारगेट है बोल के. तो मैंने क्लियरली बताया था कि इस टाइम में there's a lots of discussions going on between the IMF and few observations bodies and all these things, and political parties of India, etc. So let it go. Abhi, coming back to this article is highly important because it has come up with lots of inputs without any hesitation. आपको ये पढ़ना ही होगा. मतलब I am going to present this in our telegram channel without any hesitation. यहाँ जो भी important points दिए गए हैं, you have to go back and you have to write it in your home. Sorry, current affairs notes at your home. So again, India has not only become the world's fastest growing major economy, but it is also a strategic force. तो strategic force कैसे बना है? What are the important observations you can draw from this? मतलब outlining an energy strategy. This is what he is talking about. So fourth largest, we are the third largest energy and oil consumer. Here they have given few important facts and data. We are the third largest energy and oil consumer, fourth largest refiner, and fourth largest LNC importer globally. So with energy demand expected to grow 2.5 times by 2047, 25%. Here are a few facts. So addressing the energy trilemma of availability, affordability and sustainability through a four-pronged approach. उसमें क्या है? Four-pronged approach. These kind of words you have to put in your mains answer. This is what I'm saying. Studying a newspaper is different. Analyzing and understanding editorial is different. Editorial में ही आपको बहुत सारे important facts मिलेंगे which you can directly dump in your mains answer. Yes, so four-pronged approach जो भी है, it is about diversification of sources and suppliers, expansion of domestic production, transition to renewables and affordability. So these are the कॉपी पेस्ट कर दो सीधा ये पॉइंट को लेके जाके. एंड इन द अपस्ट्रीम ऑयल एंड गैस सेक्टर जो भी है, इंडियाज एक्सप्लोरेशन इज डबल्ड फ्रॉम 8% to 16%. दैट इज वन मोर इम्पोर्टेंट फैक्ट. मतलब यहाँ जो भी दिया गया है ये पॉइंट्स को आपको जाके लिखना ही होगा. तो रिड्यूस कॉस्ट एंड एक्सेलरेट मोनेटाइजेशन, न्यू रेवेन्यू शेयरिंग एंड ऑल दीज प्रीमियम वेल्स, न्यू वेल्स, क्रूड बास्केट, इंडियन का जो भी क्रूड बास्केट है, गैस प्राइसिंग मैकेनिज्म, ये सब कुछ है. ये जब मतलब थोड़ा डिस्कस किया गया है, so that initiatives through which they have taken care of this energy sector is like National Seismic Program is the one, and Mission Anveshan is the one, and yes, Airborne Gravity AGG service are the few other important points. So yes, So yes, coming back to this article, the ONGC Corporation have together and Oil India have together made 25 hydrocarbon discoveries across the Mumbai offshore. So these are the regions where they have found these oil reserves and all these things, how they are coming out of these huge cubic meters of India's gas reserves and all these things. So here again energy sector में उन्होंने exclusively बात किया है oil, gas. उसके साथ साथ they have discussed about few biofuels. So these points you have to write in your answer. This is what I'm saying. And other than that, India's gas network has grown from 55 geographic areas in 2014 to 307 in 2025. Here it is the another important point. उसके साथ साथ फोकस ऑफ द एनर्जी स्ट्रैटेजी कैसे इम्प्रूव हो रहा है, मतलब ग्रीन स्ट्रैटेजी कैसे इम्प्रूव हो रहा है, हाउ दे आर डूइंग दिस एथनॉल ब्लेंडिंग and how they are improving these molasses to maize and robust ethanol ecosystem, and what about this sustainable alternative towards affordable transportation and all these things they have clearly mentioned. And green hydrogen has been given a massive trust. वो एक important point है where they are discussing about green hydrogen. Other than that, public sector's undertakings say how they are leading from the front and all these things. So how these pipeline networks are spanning, how they are working. It's a simple energy sector जो भी है, how it is evolving, how it is improving, how it is helping to improve the economy as well as improve the reserves and resources, all these things, and what the government is doing through different initiatives. All these things has been very detailed analysis has been given. Just go through the article once, dump down all the important points, and nothing more than that. That's it. And finally, are saying affordability remains central despite global, what it's called, global LPG prices and all. Few important points they again given. Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, and yes, a few important initiatives like National Master Plan, which is ensuring real-time project visibility and all. Even in prelims, they have asked about this Surya Ghar, no? So just go through this and that's it. So here they are finally discussing about sovereignty and sustainability of this energy sector. That's it. Nothing more than that. उसके ज़्यादा उन्होंने कुछ पूछा नहीं है. India Australia defense ties beyond American shadows. So after Trump 2.0, there's a lots of discussions going on. So here they have discussed about India Australia relations in this article. They have discussed exclusively about these defense and how this cooperation in different strategic relationship and different spectrums, how they are working strongly on all these things. एक बार एक आर्टिकल देख लो. They have clearly mentioned about these key military exercises like it is very much important. अस्त्र हिंद क्या है, आस इंडेक्स क्या है, multilateral exercises क्या है, like pitch bank, Malabar and all these things, and how these New Delhi to Australia, how they are working on ambitions, maritime ambitions and all these things, how these Australian different forces is helping, while Japan, South Korea, Europe all are valuable partners for India. The New Delhi Canberra defense a relationship has quietly built bureaucratic muscles. This is what important. So PM Modi have elevated this partnership top tier security partner. See, these kind of words you have to put in your mains answer. Again I'm telling something related to India Australia relations आएगा. Definitely highly important. मेंस के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा है. Inputs जो भी है please copy paste in your notes. That's it. So here again they are talking about new technologies under AUKUS, Australia, United Kingdom, US, and increased outreach to smaller island states and all these things. Strategic partners क्या है, comprehensive strategic partnership क्या है, and 2+2 ministerial dialogue क्या है. Everything has very clearly explained. Simple. How these India-Australian relations are improving, what they are doing for stronger and deepening their defense relationship, and what about the military capabilities, and what about these exchanges. Here they clearly mention, like first they are rebalancing defense engagement, second India's defense footprint in Canberra need to reflect the strategic importance. This is one area where they are focusing, and third most important, India needs to elevate ground up ideas from working level personnel. This is one more important point they mentioned. मतलब पैरस बना के दिए हैं. India should explore cooperation with Australia in the maintenance, repair and naval exercises on these things. So it's an opportunity for MSMEs, especially in the defense sector, defense industry, for collaborations demands के वजह से what happens, it will improve the outputs, it will improve the components of dual use technologies and all these things. That's it, nothing more than that. IISC research develop artificial metal based nano enzyme that prevents excess blood clot. It's a kind of fact, just एक बार देख लीजिए. The process known as, sorry, here they have given clearly, check out this blood clotting process. So blood vessels injured, when blood vessels injured, specialized blood cells called platelets get activated and cluster together around the vessel to form protective blood. This process is known as blood clotting. So it involves a complex series of protein interactions triggered by signals from physiological agonists such as collagen and thrombin. So they clearly mentioned how it signals, how it gets clotting and all, and how it can be taken care of. This is what this article is about. It's a kind of new invention. एक बार just देख लीजिए, nothing more than that. ये थोड़ा important होगा आपके लिए, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं है. Ladakh gets new policies on quota and domiciles. Yes, after 2019, especially Article 370, you may get a question without any hesitation. So, after Jammu and Kashmir getting special status category under Article 370 of the Constitution, And after 2019 क्या हुआ है, we know all the story, no need to go back and go into the details and all these things, but yes, here the list of key events has been given, you just go through them. So now the Ladakh is asking exclusively, another article also has been added in this particular class itself, which is exclusively discussing about North Arc, Act North, sorry, Act North. I will be discussing what are the key demands of them and what are the important points they are discussing, and what about these government jobs, reservations, categories, local communities, culture, and all these things. So first most important point, yes, they are focusing on official languages should be English, Hindi, Urdu, Bhoti and Purgi, and also yes, they are focusing on 80% of government job likely to be reserved for ST, a third of Hill Council, as well as non-ladkis should have ladkians should have 50 years of continuous residence in the UD to be considered as domiciles. They are requesting for giving importance to their what is called job. They should consider their culture, language, and all these things. These are the few important demands from them, and yes, few amendments acts have been given here. Just go through them, nothing more than that. उससे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी भी नहीं है, उससे ज़्यादा थोड़ा मतलब अभी प्रेसिडेंट मुर्मू जी ने क्या किया है वो एक बार देख लीजिए, वो क्या बोल रहे हैं, एंड एज वेल एज यस व्हाट दिस आर्टिकल इज ऑल अबाउट, एक बार 4 to 5 पॉइंट्स में लिख के रख दीजिए, एंड दीज आर द फ्यू ऑब्जर्वेशंस एंड पॉइंट्स, दैट्स इट, नथिंग मोर देन दैट. India's astronaut space mission is to मतलब इंडियन स्पेस स्टेशन के लिए Axiom 4 having high chances of appearing in your notes. So yes, ISRO का, NASA का, and guess what is the another nation? European Space Agency. So 4 people are going to ISS, Indian Space Station, and their मतलब ये जो होल्ड हुआ है, पोस्टपोन हुआ है लॉन्च, उसके बारे में बताया गया है. इट्स नॉट दैट इम्पोर्टेंट अपडेट, बट यस यू शुड डेफिनेटली नो what about this Axiom, and what are India's other ISRO launches, and what are the other important ambitious projects in 2025, वो एक बार देख लीजिए, nothing more than that. अरुणाचल प्रदेश shuts down 386 गवर्नमेंट रन स्कूल्स. ये पॉइंट बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है, बिकॉज जस्ट थिंक even after NEP, even after lots of studies and what is called Unified District and Force program and different initiatives like midday meals and all these things, why still there lack of enrollments, and why it's a serious concern. So concern, what are the reasons for shutting down, why enrollments dropped, ये एक बार आपको सोचना होगा, क्योंकि these kind of points you have to be very thorough with, because once you get an become a bureaucrat, you have to deal with all these educational ministries and different ministries, right? You should definitely know the ground realities. So even after lots of government's involvement, why they say zero enrollment, decreased भी नहीं, enrollment has been uh, decreased is something different, zero enrollment is something different, and because of which 386 schools is not a small number. So what's happening? So what are the reasons? So is there any flaws and drawbacks or gap between policy making, or is there because of teacher student pupil ratio, or is this because of merging schools to मतलब private sector में ज़्यादा अच्छा बता रहे हैं, या फिर public private partnership में can be improved so that Assam government can come up with few new initiatives for giving best education and affordable education to the everyone, because government run schools are the one which can give good education even to the one who are not in a situation to afford, right? So these kind of things has to be taken care of. So just analyze and think what's happening, what could be the reason, and if there is a question on education system, how you can write this as an example, because देर इन असम, ये तो असम में हो रहा है, लेकिन हरियाणा में क्या है, ओपन स्कूल्स, देर आर ओपन स्कूल्स अंडर ट्रीज. वाई? अगेन बिकॉज ऑफ लैक ऑफ schools at trees. trees के अंडर में, because of lack of infrastructure, developmental activities and all these things. But even after huge development, when we are touching the space but not able to give basic school education to the one in the northeastern states, when we are talking about northeastern states को बहुत develop कर रहे हैं, and what is this drop down of enrollments and what is this shutdown of 386 schools? This is how you have to think and analyze. Motion of impeachment, it's highly important, as I already told you, because high probable topic hai. Two judges, one is this Yashwant and two is Yadav. I'm sorry, I hardly remember his name. He's the one because of these statements which he passed at Hindu Visharda Sabha or something, Vishwa Sabha or something, and he is the one because of this unaccounted amount. So these both are going to be facing this impeachment process soon. So abhi go back to your Lakshmikant polity and check out the basics like हाई कोर्ट क्या होता है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट क्या होता है, व्हाट आर द roles and articles related to, and what are the amendments related to, and what about this impeachment process, how they can be done, how they getting appointed and all these things. Impeachment, removal, salaries, process, all these things, just go salaries and allowances, ये एक बार देख लीजिए. Other than this, yes, rules and act, so थोड़ा ये भी देख लीजिए, रूल्स एंड रोल्स एंड फंक्शंस. अदर देन दैट जुडिशरी अभी जो ज़्यादा इम्प्रूव हो रहा है, मतलब जुडिशियल एक्टिविज्म हो, जुडिशियल ओवररीच हो, ये भी एक बार देख लीजिए. Glory of Vedas, the reason for adding, yes, try to inculcate these in your ethics mains answer. You can quote these and examples. That's the reason I'm adding. That's it, nothing more than that. Yes, this drone view which is talking about Coron river, थोड़ा एक बार जाके देख लीजिए, where is this Coron river location. So Pride salt mine on zone 2. It's a gapping sinkholes that have formed near the village of, it's Romania. So UPSC may frame a question and ask you, recently Coron river is in news. So where it is located? So what are the reasons? Because of the sinkholes, and it is one of Europe's largest salt river है. So definitely पूछेगा ही पूछेगा. And yes, receives 500,000 tourists. That's it. So this is a location fact, just go through once. Bacteria found at Rajgir hot spring lakes shows antimicrobial activity. So thermophiles, here in this article they have exclusively mentioned about thermophiles. So thermophiles can tolerate up to 45 to 70 degrees. मतलब जो hot water में भी sustain हो रहा है because of these features which they have, extinct features. So it's these compost piles offer mineral rich neighborhood with few competing life forms. To gain and add, some thermophile bacteria produce potent antibiotics as weapons to neutralize competitors. So वो जो antibiotics release करते हैं, they can be utilized. So one group of bacteria, the actin bacteria, makes up 40 to 43%, but this one 45 to 70 degrees. This is what it is all about. So well known drugs like streptomycin, tetracycline were first discovered as the products of these actinobacteria. This is what this article is about. So thus the discovery of any bacterium that can produce a potent antibiotic against pathogens is considered good news. So not all these produce antibiotics, however, to find. So how these what it's called, bacteria called thermophile, meaning heat lovers, it's nothing but because they are surviving even after that hot springs and all these things, no. So how these studies has been taken, how these antibiotic producing bacteria can be helpful, and what are the other observations, all these things, that's it. ये थोड़ा लिख के रख लो because little bit important for your mains. Why do volcanoes erupt? Again, go back to your Goch and Leong geography basics. How do volcanoes erupt के बाद एक बार देख लीजिए टाइप्स ऑफ वोल्केनोस, जैसे कि डॉर्मेंट होता है, एक्टिव होता है, and what are the features, how it can be, locations एक बार देख लो, both national and global level में जो भी locations of these volcanoes देख लो, how they explode, and how this eruption helpful, and what are the Mount Fuji क्या है जैसे कि जापान में है. So what are these different kinds of volcanoes, what they erupt like lava, ash, and gases into sky, what happens later, all these things एक बार देख लीजिए. Act North, as I already told you, these Ladakh people is fighting for their rights, and yes, there's a lots of important discussions going on, it having high chances of appearing in your question. So statehood, they want full statehood, this is one thing which they are asking for, and other than that they are also asking for reservations, especially उनका जो jobs reservations है वो पूछ रहे हैं, and they are asking for domicile, as well as they are asking for these importance in their मतलब culture को ज़्यादा importance देना है, as well as language preference they are asking for, and they are also asking for these the migrants in Ladakh after special status in 2019 would be considered as domiciles and all these things. So provisions they are asking for indigenous people, northeastern people, and all these things. So high powered committee in 2023 forced the government to form a high committee in 2023 headed by Minister of State. So what this head committee, high level committee has came up with observations क्या बोल रही है, and what can be done further to sort out this issue, this is what all about. So Ladakh is strategically, it's a ट्राई जंक्शन सोचो या लोकेशन सोचो, जैसे कि चाइना को, पाकिस्तान को, इंडिया को बीच में है. So we know there's lots of border issues happening between these India, Pakistan, and India, China, and all these things, Galwal Valley, all these things. So Ladakh plays a key role. So how it can be further utilized by these border nations to create border disputes, so these developments at the local level can be evoked, and local people can be provoked against this even after this good administration and developmental activities and all these things. So Kargil mein, Leh mein kya ho raha hai, all these things you just go through once. It's simple, they're asking for Article 370 को थोड़ा कोट करते हुए 2019 से 2025 तक क्या हुआ है, उसके पहले भी क्या हुआ है, एक बार देख लीजिए. That's it, nothing more than that. And yes, what are their demands, as well as what are the observations, and what you can suggest, वो एक बार बता के देख लीजिए, suggestive measures जो भी है. That's it. And I add these as you can quote these an example in mains and case studies. Why international students matter to the US? Because again they have passed this new visa interviews globally, and this is because of, as I already told, so Open Doors international student data shows how this China and India sending students. So globally India, China are the one where more than 50% students are going there, and all-time high of more than 1.1 million international students in 23 to 2024, where 6.6% increase from the previous years, and India and China are the one more than 50% sending students. So how this is improving their economy as well as all these things. So what about this मतलब ये जो new visa interviews globally shut down past. So how this STEM research in US university is gonna take a U-turn and all these things. Just go through these facts and dump down in your current affairs notes, and you can write them in your mains answer. That's it. A ban, a split verdict, and a health concern. So it's all about, they have clearly mentioned about mustard oil. Please, mustard oil. There's a lots of important points given here. From 2021 to 2024, mustard oil extraction, third largest. Mustard oil is the third largest edible oil consumed in. This is what in India. So what are the health, what are the impact on health, how it is improving economy, what are the environmental causes they are discussing, and how about this edible oil blending and all these things, and what about this future development of this indigenous DMH2 and all these things they have clearly discussed in this article. So they are saying mustard, genetically modified mustard named Dhara mustard hybrid 2, that is DMH2, is a model, a major ground on which one of the two judges pronounced a judgment against this insufficient assessment of impact on human health. But yes, it is closer look shows that it is the oil extracted from the Indian mustard crop contains unique fatty acid called uric acid. Uric acid. It will give a lots of impact on health, where accepted level of mustard oil containing high percentage of this active you acid may give impact on health issues like premature heart diseases, like heart diseases, and growth में थोड़ा impact देगा, and premature tissue death and all these things. And other than that, kidneys, skeletal muscle, adrenal glands, and all these things, it may give an impact. So this is what they are saying. So edible oil blending due to unfavorable climatic conditions, India has not succeeded in developing a high yielding canola quality mustard crop. Hence the easiest way to reduce the high uric acid content in mustard oil is to blend it with edible oils. So here they are talking about blending as a solution. So what are the causes, and what are the challenges, and what are the solutions you can give, and what Indian government is doing? So instead of a ban, the sale of blended mustard oil can be allowed, but in packaged and branded form, so that it can be properly consumed in India, less than 30%, and all these things. Strict implementation and policy making should be done. Alternatively, they should be cultivating indigenous GM mustard crop along with this DMH2 and all these things. And yes, they have come up with few important points, like how it is impacting on health, how it can be tackled, and how this development of the indigenous GM can be handled. Well, after years of research, Canada, Europe have successfully introduced two low uric acid strains into their cultivations. So taking example from Canada and Europe, so what other nations are doing, so what we can do, this is what we have to understand. And what are the developmental activities, crop developmental initiatives government is taking, that's it. So इससे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी नहीं है, सिंपल है, मस्टर्ड ऑयल का पूरा फुल्लत दिया गया है. Building integrated photovoltaics, PM Suryaghar is the one which was asked in UPSC 2025 prelims. So now here they are talking about exclusively these BIPVs, highly important for mains. Please make sure you are very thorough with the important points they have given. The Renewable Energy Museum in Kolkata is one more important point, and few other important inputs they have come up and given, how these rooftop mounted solar systems are building integrated photovoltaic and all these things, what it is doing at India, what it can be done to scale up, actually what is BIVP and all these things completely. They have given extraordinary inputs. It's a self-explanatory, simple question and answer format में दिया गया है. Make a list of all these important points and just dump down those points into your notes. That's it. Nothing more than that. Facts and figures, yes, just go through and write it in your notes, and you can quote these as an example in your mains answers. Political deadlock in Taiwan. When there was a discussion about South China Sea, I have already explained about this Taiwan, क्या हो रहा है सब कुछ. Again, I'll explain in detail. In December 2024, the KMT posted amendments to the Act governing allocation of government revenues and expenditures. So the Act was amended for the first time in 25 years. So under Mr. Lai, the rift between KMT and the DPP is especially apparent because KMT previously occupied a majority. So KMT has been a party that promotes dialogue over a deterrence with China. So here, what's happening? As the Taiwanese president celebrated a year in office, and how they are going further to improve these conditions and democratic vibrance and volatility political corridors of Taipei and all these things, how they can be going to handle what is this legislative body is doing and all these things, what are their ideologies, what are their political rifts, everything explained. Just go through once and you get an idea, nothing more than that. Does the civil services examination need reform? As you being an aspirant, it's really important to understand what's happening since इंडिपेंडेंस. कोतारी कमेटी क्या बोल रहा है, उसके बाद में 2012 में गवर्नमेंट अपॉइंटेड अरुण निगवेरकर कमेटी, उन्होंने क्या बोला है एंड अभी क्या हो रहा है, ये एक बार देख लीजिए और आपको समझ में आना चाहिए. यू बीइंग ए सिविल एस्पिरेंट, is this really recommended, yes or no? So passing of the right to information, aspirants flooded the UPSC with queries regarding the rationale of exams, and the UPSC has to disclose its methods again, which were raised for judicial scrutiny and all these things. So prelim exam, which was designed to select the most deserving, now became a jealous gatekeeper and all these things. Just go through. India-US trade deal is not too distant future, says US Commerce Secretary. Here, this article is exclusively discussing about India-US relations, and exclusively they are talking about trade. So, what are the other areas which we are focusing, like receiving favorable tariffs on a number of manufacturing sectors, how they are going to proceed further for the trade deal between and all these things. It's just giving an upgrade, that's it, nothing more than that. It's a kind of, they are discussing about tariffs as well as potential trade deal, that's it. And yes, I add quiz to make you sure that you should get some inputs and all these things. Just go through this quiz page once, and if possible try to make a note of all these important points. Global oil refineries see short-term boost from higher margins. Again, it's come up with few observations from OECD, and how this global oil demand growth is set to average these demands, and first quarter what happened, how it is relatively low stocks, how analysts are warning what happening in Europe, US and all these things, what happened this fuel supply chain, and why this peak fuel demand and all these things. They have come up with few important points. I thought ये पेपर में नहीं दिया गया है, लेकिन yes डिजिटल वर्जन में दिया गया है. मुझे लगा था यहाँ कुछ पॉइंट्स दिए गए हैं, एनालिसिस दिया गया है, दैट मे बी हेल्पफुल फॉर राइटिंग योर गुड आंसर योर मेंस, दैट्स इट. UK facing race to over $1 billion EU carbon tax cost. So Britain will struggle to link its carbon market to the EU's in just 7 months. ये एक बार थोड़ा इनपुट्स लिख लो इस आर्टिकल में, उससे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी नहीं है. और yes, coming back to this, they have come up with a few carbon border tax kicks, and it's probably like taking many years before linkage takes effect. The earliest is 2028, but it's more likely to be 2029 or 2030, where they are focusing to blocks carbon border tariff and all these things. So what happened previously and what's happening in 2027, how this technical hurdles is going to take place and all these things, nothing more than that. एक बार देख लीजिए कि how it is going to negotiate with EU countries to launch talks with Britain on the carbon market link and all these things. Oh, so we're done for today. So these are the list of important articles of June 4th. I hope you are really studying well. If you need any guidance or mentorship, please drop a message. We are here to support your sincere efforts. Hopefully, you are doing wonderful preparation. Have a fantastic day. Thank you so much.